Well, you just wonder about the goals situation as the parade commences. Kilkenny have the facility to get lots and lots. Cork have been struggling in that department, but they have been getting plenty of points. And this, the impressive scene from Croke Park. And among the people watching around the world today are Tomás Toomey in the Bay of Plenty, New Zealand, hoping for a Cork win, no doubt. Then Kevin Loughnane and Shem Walsh, they're in Toronto, rooting for Kilkenny, I'm told. Cormac Murphy's from Beara, watching it in Sydney, or we hope to be pretty soon for the Compromise Rules of International Series. There's Tommy and Maura O'Neill and David and Florrie O'Mahony watching in Manchester. Maurice Murphy's in New Jersey today, and the Ray family in Sydney, in San Francisco, Abu Dhabi and Taiwan. Hello to Carmel there. Brian and Mark Barry and their girlfriends Tanya and Catherine watching in Sydney. Jerry and Martin Cadigan, they're watching it in Luxembourg. It's been watched everywhere and anywhere. Fergal Fenton, he's from Graignamanagh, also watching in Sydney. And four guys taking Monday off, if they win, are Richard Ryan, David Marr, Dermot O'Connell and Ian Stevenson, also down in Sydney. Paul McIntaggart, he's in San Francisco. Can't forget Canis Brennan's sister, she is in Cyprus, I think it is. That's Marion. And there's Kathleen in Germany. 92-year-old Mary Dalton and husband Billy played for Cork in 1931. She's going to enjoy this match with us, I'm told. John and Gillian, they're in Auckland, and Damien Lynch in Australia. And I can't forget Jared and Joan Gregg in the Cayman Islands. And the Sisks watching in San Francisco. Big long list of people, but they all want to be remembered to the people back at home. So the parade continues, and Kilkenny, of course, with one victory this weekend already to their credit, and that was in the handball, where Michael Duxie Walsh, the great Kilkenny exponent, defeated Walter O'Connor for Meath 21-8, 21-10. 14 singles victory now for Duxie in 15 years. It's a wonderful record. Kilkenny with 25 All-Ireland hurling wins. Cork with 27. Two of the greatest exponents. Both sides, I thought, pretty relaxed considering the tension that is about today. But they were pretty relaxed in the dressing rooms when I was down there about a half an hour ago. And the mentors, they looked quite at ease. And indeed, of course, Jimmy Barry Murphy and Brian Cody are old friends. They shook hands just a little while ago when the teams came out. They marked one another in the past at minor, under 21 and senior level.
And now in the final moments of the countdown to this year's All-Ireland hurling final, let me get my two panellists, Cyril Farrell and Michael Duignan, to nail their colours to the mast. Cyril Farrell, who's going to be the All-Ireland champions at 5 o'clock this evening?
Well, all year, Michael, I just felt that this Kilkenny team would win it this year. Maybe in the league semi-final I saw them and I was kind of happy that they were kind of settling into a kind of rhythm of their own. Now with the players back, I think they'll just about get there.
I was talking, Michael Duignan, to Eddie Kerr during the week. He said this Cork team are a coming team. They've come a year too soon for him anyway. Do you think they can win it?
No, I don't think they can win it either. I think it's very similar styles, very strong defence. Midfield unproven on both sides, maybe Andy Comfort with the vital edge there, and then both forwards lines explosive. But I think the difference will be the experience. I don't think young players can win All Ireland. I may be proven wrong today, but I think that you have to maybe lose one or certainly be there and competing at that level in semi-finals or whatever for a couple of years. And Kilkenny have been around for a while. I'll give them the nod.
So the nod from both of our panellists then for Kilkenny to win this year's final.
And now it's going to be the turn of Paul Hennessy to come out here, joined with the Artane Boys band. DJ, by the way, has put on his black helmet, so it's business as usual for him. Everybody now facing the tricolour. Agus Shahonish are on the Vian.
The national anthem will be played by the Artane Boys band and sung by Paul Hennessy. Along the Vian.
sung with great gusto. And it is Cork who are going to play from left to right of the first half. I wonder how the Ku Klux Klan managed to get tickets. The Breeze will be supporting Kilkenny for the opening 35 minutes. Pat O'Connor from Ahane in County Limerick is the match referee, supported today by Pat Horn and Jerry Devlin. Already changes with Ben O'Connor and Shawty McGrath, Joe Dean switching things around. Nothing new there. Mark Landers is poised, so too Mickey O'Connell, Andy Comerford and Dennis Byrne, wearing the Kilkenny colours. The 112th All-Ireland hurling final gets underway in the rain at Croke Park, and straight away Cork launched the first attack of the match with Neil Ronan, and he's delivered it right in towards the right-hand side of the goal. But Neil has gone out to left half forward, it seems. Switches all around the place. Joe Dean into full forward, where he's been marked by Canis Brennan. This is James McGarry, had an outstanding semi-final. Huge puck out down towards John Power, and that's a great catch by Brian Corcoran. Not a long delivery, however. Dennis Byrne snapping it up in midfield, one-handed down. Sean O'Halpine. Henry Chaplin chases after him, aware he might be hooked. He had to make a bit of space for himself. That's towards Timmy McCarthy. They struggle for it in midfield. Here's Andy Comerford. Nice little ball inside towards John Parr, just runs ahead of him, however. Mark Landers is back for Cork. Sideline ball for Kilkenny. Well, one man who's missing this afternoon and can't be here is my radio commentary colleague Brian Carty. Wish you well, Brian. This is going to be taken here by Dennis Byrne. Now Kenny cut it up decently. Does so brilliantly. Smashing ball in. Ken O'Shea is in after it. It breaks outside towards DJ Carey. Left there and swung in the end, and it's gone. Well, the Kilkenny lads are claiming it went off a Cork back, but no joy for Ken O'Shea. Ken has had this wonderful facility to get a lot of goals in his career, 7 so far. Well, in the camera angle behind here, you can see it did in fact get a deflection. Donald O'Cusack. Hit across towards Neil Ronan, they climb up there for it. Breaks back out here. Once again it's Mark Landers, sending it in towards Joe Dean. Canis Brennan back there trying to defend. Still a bit of trouble here as Ben O'Connor whips it, and Ben has put it to the left. And that's now 2 wides for Cork. Young Ben O'Connor from Newton Chandrum. And Ben today playing in just his 4th ever championship match. Again, a long puck out as Kilkenny trying to win their own puck out from James McGarry. This is Brian McAvoy. And that one has gone left, I think, yes. No joy for Brian with his very first opportunity. Well, the panel were making the point beforehand, what a star he can be. Taking the opportunity to try and dry out the handle of the hurley. Donald O'Cusack from Cloyne, the home of Christy Ring. Breaks on there towards Neil Ronan. That's Peter Barry going back. Missed there by Andy Comerford. Away by Sean O'Halpine. Here comes Michael Kavanagh. Very tidy wing back. In towards John Brown's corner where he's marking Ken O'Shea here. Still John Brown, and John Power is in there as well. Sean O'Halpine attempting to get it up by clipping it with his ankles. His mother hails from Fiji, and of course his dad is from Fermanagh. And I think we may well be seeing some other O'Halpines in the Cork colours in future years. There's Andy Comerford. This is a delightful one in, but hit to the right. And now 3 wides for Kilkenny. Nervous start for Brian Cody's team and for Jimmy Barry's. But early stages of the contest. This time it breaks down kindly for Andy Comerford, stayed back to collect towards John Power. That's going to be a vital tussle there between Power and Corcoran. This comes out nicely here to Wayne Sherlock. A low ball inside, nicely delivered towards Shoy McGrath. Even though he slipped, he still managed to get it forward. This is Canis Brennan, put under pressure by Joe Dean. Still Dean trying to get in there. It's Willie O'Connor trying to keep it away from Ben O'Connor. Well, they will have done a little bit of training in the rain, but it's been such good weather during the last few months. But I just wonder whether the weather conditions are contributing to the fact that we've got a blank scoreline so far. And as you can see, over 5 minutes gone. Neil Ronan swinging at this one. Timmy McCarthy going in there with Pat O'Neill. O'Neill, who was man of the match against Cork back in 1992. Fergal McCormack trying to get it inside, and that's away by Philly Larkin. And the final shot has gone to the right. It was an opportunity. Ben O'Connor out of luck. So a lot of missed chances so far. 3 for Cork, and for Kilkenny it's been 3 so far as well. Broken down by Mark Landers against Andy Comerford, picked up delightfully here by DJ Carey. Nicely inside. Diarmuid O'Sullivan coming out into the hands, it goes there, of Brian Corcoran. Corcoran sending it up to the right half forward to his Timmy McCarthy. Snapping at his heels there, however, was Peter Barry. This is Brian McAvoy. Can he get the first score of the match here? Outside to John Power. How he'd love to score. And he has put it to the right. It was a good opportunity. Kilkenny had the man over. Well, the match still really trying to establish a pattern. Fergal McCormack can't contain it. Peter Barry back towards McCormack once again. It comes blocked down initially by Barry. Second chance, good vision to pick out Mark Landers. Still a difficult one for him to take to get away from Andy Comerford. Landers, the captain, striking and then putting it over the bar. At last a point arrives in this All-Ireland final, but it's taken 7 minutes. Mark Landers from Killa making it a point for Cork, no score for Kilkenny. Good vision here by Fergal McCormack to find Mark Landers. Saw him out of the corner of his eye, I'm sure. He got away, Landers, from Comerford, and that's the first score. Here's Dennis Byrne trying to establish mastery at midfield towards Henry Shefflin. That's once again Brian Corcoran. The hand pass out to Landers. Up towards Ben O'Connor, swung on well. Shonny McGrath trying to win the race here with Willie O'Connor. Second chance for Cork to get a score perhaps here, but it's been spurned by Shonny McGrath. And he's certainly one of the players that Cork will be really looking to this afternoon. He could be a key factor. I know in Kilkenny they were a little worried about the pace of the Cork inside forward line. Ben O'Connor, Shonny McGrath, Joe Dean. James McGarry, number 1 goalkeeper. Martin Carey, of course, suffered a fractured finger in training last Sunday, so he doesn't have a chance of playing. That's O'Halpine again. Kavanagh going back, Philly Larkin coming from the cornerback position. They almost get in a muddle. And forced in the end to put it out over the sideline. A lot of pressure. Well, Kilkenny's ball, and it's going to be Michael Kavanagh from the St. Lachlan's club who will take it. Again, they look for possession. Once again, they're trying to force their way through. Timmy McCarthy, the one with the shot, and that's gone over the bar. First point of the day for Timmy McCarthy, young player from Castle Lyons. He's a farmer by profession. The fans roar on their encouragement, and Cork have the opening 2 points of the match. This was left there by Neil Ronan for Timmy McCarthy, and a well-struck shot. Mark Landers back in midfield. He's been very influential so far. DJ racing after him, and DJ trying to hook and doing well, showing that he's also a very useful defender. The hand passes by Dennis Byrne, repelled however there by Wayne Sherlock. Back to Byrne once again. Kilkenny needing a score. Nobody back in there on John Brown. Henry Shefflin a little bit late arriving, and Ken O'Shea had given him far too much room. Mark Landers has support here from Wayne Sherlock. Mickey O'Connell leaving it for Timmy McCarthy. Peter Barry sticking to the task. Barry had such a wonderful semi-final. Here's Brian McAvoy, also a star that day. And Brian McAvoy's shot has gone left. Far too many misses by Kilkenny, 5 so far. Young and not so young enjoying the sense of occasion here, even though the game as a contest has yet to really take off. This time a bit of variation by Donal O'Cusack. Good work by Fergal McCormack. That's Mark Landers, and that one has gone wide. Interesting that Fergal McCormack is attempting to try and take Pat O'Neill out of the centre whenever possible. Two very strong centre backs in action this afternoon. Well, let's go across to the sideline to get some up-to-date news from our reporter today. It's Marty Morrissey.
Well, Ger, just to note that Jimmy Barry Murphy is very annoyed with Mark Landers that last time because he wants the ball sent in low to Joe Dean. That's the tactic in this first half.
This is Ken O'Shea. Kilkenny needing a score, and Kilkenny still fail to register point number 1 for the day. Real disappointment for Ken O'Shea from Donamagan. Well, he's had a couple of chances. Kilkenny have missed too many opportunities so far, but he got away well from the attentions of John Brown. That's a beautiful catch by Fergal McCormack. Again, he's drifting out to the left half forward position into Joe Dean, the kind of ball he likes, getting there ahead of Philly Larkin. Shorty McGraw's waiting inside, but it's taken beautifully by James McGarry. Very settling influence of the Kilkenny backline is James McGarry this year. Mark Landers, two players getting in one another's way that time. It's McCormack who finally delivers the pass forward, but will end up being a sideline ball for Kilkenny. Disappointed Kilkenny fans, I'm sure, with the start that their team has made. Jimmy Barry Murphy will be happy enough to at least have got the opening points after nearly 12 and a half minutes play. Here's Philly Larkin, and that sideline ball almost gone over the sideline. In fact, it was over the sideline. So Cork get back possession. Third generation of Larkins, of course, to fill the cornerback berth. His dad won 5 All-Irelands. Brian Cody, one of the stars of yesteryears, come in and done a really good job. Well hit inside by Mickey O'Connell. Dennis Byrne is way back there helping out his defence towards John Power. And Cork are well aware of the threat that if Power gets going in this match, he really could open up the Cork backline. Here's Brian Corker, who's done a good job so far. Beautifully taken here by Pat O'Neill. First time we've really seen him get on top of the ball and dominate. Back once again there from the man in the corner, Fergal Ryan. Peter Barry fouled, free to Kilkenny. This is the very first free of the match, which is a very interesting statistic considering the fact that there are nearly 14 minutes gone. This free is going to be left to Pat O'Neill. Dropping right there towards Henry Shefflin. Comes back out towards Wayne Sherlock. One back by John Parr. Good work by Parr. And Brian McAvoy again cursing his luck because once again the ball has gone wide. It's been a wretched start to the match by the Cats. Donal O'Cusack has been busy with the puck out so far. This time going towards the right half forward position. Mickey O'Connell drifting across there. That's Brian McAvoy just getting enough on it. Dennis Byrne almost hooked there by Mickey O'Connell. Still it reaches Charlie Carter. Can Charlie inspire this Kilkenny team? Not with that particular shot. Once again, disappointment is his lot. Colleague, of course, at club level with DJ Carey. Hard to believe all the misses so far. Fergal McCormack drifting right this time, getting away from, first of all, Brian McAvoy, now trying to push ahead. Peter Barry still chasing, and it falls into the waiting arms of Pat O'Neill, built like a tank. Down towards Charlie Carter, missed. Fergal Ryan goes back, Henry Shefflin, the young 20-year-old coming across, doing well. Rated one of the very best young players in the game, Henry Shefflin. Showing presence down there, expecting to get something, in particular 65, but it's another puck out for Cork. This was beautifully taken forward here by Fergal McCormack. Watch then as Pat O'Neill came out and darted away with it. Fergal McCormack again, he's drifted out towards the right-hand side and a little switch with Timmy McCarthy. Here's Brian McAvoy, stymied by Wayne Sherlock. Nicely away by Willie O'Connor. Brian Corcoran up towards Shawnee McGrath. Takes it down beautifully to himself. Scoring opportunity, but he drops it short to James McGarry. Broken down by Sean O'Halpine, but only as far as Andy Comerford. Next it's Dennis Byrne. Fergal Ryan once again, the Black Rock man, to Timmy McCarthy. Scorer of one of the points so far in the game. The other, Mark Landers, of course. Good solo run, this is what he's good at. Loves to take it forward, and this time he's got another score. A second point for Timmy McCarthy, and a third for Cork. And Cork have done all the scoring so far. This was a tremendous solo run here by Timmy McCarthy, switching in to centre half forward in the last moment or two, and a nice little tap over the bar. 2 shots on the goal for McCarthy, 2 points. That's blocked down there. Mark Landers was trying to get it away. Charlie Carter trying to get it back in for Kilkenny. Picked up there by Landers, missed his clearance however. Charlie Carter still chasing after him. Here's Mickey O'Connell, the Middleton man, towards Shawnee McGrath. McGrath, and that's again beautifully taken away, this time by Canis Brennan. Stolen away brilliantly, and a long clearance towards Ken O'Shea. Breaks out towards John Power. Power against Brian Corcoran. An angled ball, not exactly going anywhere. Certainly not near enough to the Cork goal to trouble them. And the clearance there is by Sherlock. Dennis Byrne drops it down. Pat O'Neill's waiting for it. Here's Andy Comerford, having support if he needs it. Doing a kind of a Timmy McCarthy in it and trying to take it right at the defence. He's tripped in any case, and it's a free in for Kilkenny. Neil Ronan needing a replacement stick. Neil from the Ballyhay Club up in North Cork. Comes from a very well-known hurling family. Well, there's concern about an injury to one of the Cork lads. It's Wayne Sherlock, as that was brilliantly taken by Canis Brennan. Well, what they might term in basketball, I suppose, a steal by Canis Brennan by Pat O'Neill already in this match. Wayne Sherlock, who's 20 and playing today in his 4th championship match. Winner of 2 All-Ireland Under-21 championships already from that very fine team coached by Bertie Og Murphy. And a lot of them made it straight through into the Cork team. That's Andy Comerford, started his championship career with London, played 3 championship matches for them. The Cork wing back is okay. It's a free into Kilkenny. It's Henry Shefflin. This is 50 metres out. Can he get Kilkenny's first point here? It's one they need badly, and he has got it. From that long-range free, very well struck indeed by Henry Shefflin. And at last Kilkenny get themselves a score, but it's taken 19 minutes. Very low scoring All-Ireland final so far. Andy Comerford, that's a great catch. Still Comerford. And that's another shot and another score. Couldn't score for the opening 19 minutes of the match, and now they get 2 in a row. And that's Andy Comerford from O'Loughlin Gales. And without being able to score, Kilkenny are right back in it, and only a point between the teams. Donalo Cusack. This time going towards Neil Ronan's corner. Coming forward was Mark Landers. That's Fergal McCormack. Picked up here well by Ben O'Connor. Stealing forward again. Kavanagh's chasing after him. This is in for Dean. Joe Dean looking for some latitude. A shot that's gone over the bar. First point for Joe Dean. So little to choose really. And anybody's match at 4 points to 2. Again, it's an interesting tussle over there between Sean O'Halpine and DJ Carey, and Carey hasn't been getting enough of the ball so far. John Brown, dentist by profession, to Sean O'Halpine once again, beyond Fergal McCormack. Taken here by Philly Larkin of the Cats. John Parr, low pick up. Held there. And it's Mark Landers who struggles with him, and the referee says you were holding him back, and it's a free for Kilkenny. Cork fans did not agree. So once again they bring Henry Shefflin up from the full forward position to take this free. This is further out than the one he pointed a little while ago. So can he once again narrow the gap to a point? As he judged it well, he looks to have a white flag goes up, and it's another score for Henry Shefflin from a free, and Brian Cody will be a great deal more relieved. Tremendous point, and it's 4 points to 3. Mickey O'Connell giving it to Timmy McCarthy, looking for another one, his third shot, his first miss however. Always remembered in a Munster Championship match a couple of years at under 21 level, I think it was 1997, when he scored a late goal against Tipperary. Henry Shefflin and DJ Carey have switched in the last couple of seconds. DJ now is in at full forward. That's Henry contesting. This is John Parr, fed forward to the young man with the green helmet, and he swung this one in beautifully and has put it over the bar. The switch working straight away. That move to bring Shefflin out to right half forward. He's got his third point, the first from play, and the sides are level for the very first time in the match. So without performing as fluently as they can in the attack, Kilkenny have now drawn level, and that was a tremendous effort by Henry Shefflin. Oh, a great catch again by Pat O'Neill. Kicked forward towards DJ Carey, trying to take Diarmuid O'Sullivan out of position. Sullivan sticking very tightly indeed to DJ, trying to deny him a route into goal. Looking around for support, gets it from Charlie Carter. And the final effort going near the sideline. Who touched it last? It must have been the Kilkenny man, because it's gone for a puck out. Well, after the nervousness that was perfectly understandable in the awful conditions here, let's hope now that both sides can play their usual fluent game and get lots and lots of scores. Fans, of course, today, as usual, have been told to stay off the pitch at the end of the match, and that's going to be interesting. That's broken down by Peter Barry. Next, it's Brian McAvoy. Mickey O'Connell, and the foul there is by Andy Comerford. A look of bewilderment on Andy's face. But a free to Cork, 65 metres out from the Kilkenny goal. And a Kilkenny player down injured. Appears to be Peter Barry. So Dr. Bill Cuddihy is forced to come onto the field for the first time in the match. Let's go back out to the sideline once again to get some more up-to-date news from Marty Morrissey.
Well, indeed, the tactical switch by Kilkenny to put DJ in full forward has been altered again. I think Brian Cody has given the freedom to DJ Carey and Henry Shefflin to make their own moves at whatever opportune moment there is.
So Brian Cody ringing the switches. And this is Cork's first free of the match. Mickey O'Connell about to take it. And that has gone away to the left. He'll be disappointed. Certainly Cork would have been looking to a kind of performance that he put up against Waterford in the opening round when he scored 8 points in all. McGarry again targeting John Power, straight down the middle, stopped however by Brian Corcoran. Good defending. Storming forward. Great run by Brian Corcoran, outside towards Fergal McCormack. Difficult one for him to hold on to. Not an easy ball by any manner of means. Peter Barry was trying to deny him. Dennis Burns back there. Here's Timmy McCarthy. Fergal McCormack again. And that has gone out over the sideline. And that's a sideline ball to Kilkenny. Fergal McCormack, this nephew of Mick O'Connell, the great Kerry footballer of yesteryear. He's an auctioneer by profession, based in Mallow. Willie O'Connor here. He's had an impressive season so far, quick and sharp as usual. This is towards Andy Comerford. Great catch again by Andy. Back to Brian McAvoy. Ooh, almost selling a dummy to himself there. O'Connell chasing after it. That's Michael Kavanagh. Inside towards John Power. This time being marked by Sean O'Halpine. Back to help out, however, is Brian Corcoran, never too far away. Good catch once again by Andy Comerford. He's been beginning to dominate at midfield, making a lot of catches there. Mickey O'Connell this time gets it forward towards Shawty McGrath. McGrath yet to score in this match. This time he's got his opportunity, but this time he's spurned it once again. A real look of disappointment. Nothing at all so far from 3 shots by Shawty McGrath. I know a lady called Mary Newman who's in the orthopaedic hospital will be very disappointed with that miss. She's a great Glen Rovers and Shawty McGrath fan. Both sides continuing their options, or considering their options on the far side, considering possible switches and substitutions even. Nothing happening so far. That's gone straight back to Andy Comerford. Diarmuid O'Sullivan comes down with this one. DJ Carey's about, however, that spells danger. John Power, and the shot by Power's gone over the bar, his first of the day. What a great move it was to bring him back into the Kilkenny team. He has such an influence when playing on the 40, and now he's given Kilkenny the lead. First time that Kilkenny has led in the match. And this is a point that was made by DJ Carey for John Power. Brian McAvoy trying to get more and more into the game at left half forward. Mickey O'Connell chases. The hand pass across here anticipated by Henry Shefflin. Turning left, but striking right and putting it wide. Doesn't miss too many, Henry Shefflin. And a facial injury, as you can see here, to Willie O'Connor. O'Connor from Glenmore. So about 7 minutes to go to the half-time whistle. That's Dennis Byrne towards Ken O'Shea. Henry Shefflin seems to have gone back into full forward in the last couple of minutes. Here's John Brown. Anticipating here is Dennis Byrne, the Kilkenny captain. Driving it right in there. Charlie Carter's after it, and so too is Donald O'Cusack. Good work by the Cork goalkeeper. That's Fergal Ryan getting it away. Down to Shawty McGrath. Trying to take Willie O'Connor on a tour of Croke Park. Inside towards Timmy McCarthy. Back out towards Dennis Byrne. Byrne showing tenacity. Getting it down towards DJ Carey. Wayne Sherlock trying to hold up his progress. Good block down by Sherlock. Good skill. That's Sean O'Halpine. The clearance across towards Neil Ronan's corner. Ben O'Connor there as well. So too Andy Comerford. This bounces away off Brian Corcoran's stick. John Power in there. Back comes Corcoran, anticipating the shoulder from Ken O'Shea, doing just enough to get it away. Not only out as far as Brian McAvoy, and McAvoy has put it wide. Amazingly, Kilkenny have had 12 wides in the first half, and we still have over 5 minutes to play. Well, very poor shooting by Brian Cody's team, but they've had a lot of possession. Brian McAvoy, no score so far, and 4 shots, and this was that very fine anticipated save here by Donald Cusack. Player down, who needs the attention this time, is Dennis Byrne. Dennis, who made his championship debut against Meath in '94. Tom Cashman in the middle of that group, Jimmy Barry Murphy there as well, the team manager of course, and Ted Owens, who's done so well to prepare them physically. But how do you prepare for a wet day as the Cork selectors have a quick little meeting? Sean O'Leary there on the right of that group, and the programme is now coming in pretty handy here if you know the players, just to keep the hair dry. Well, Dennis Barry's back at his feet once again. Bill Cudahy has done his job, the team medical officer. DJ Carey has switched back in, I can tell you, in the last couple of seconds. Now that's a nice handy head of hair, isn't it? Here comes Andy Comerford. This time it pops out into the arms of Mickey O'Connell, dragged down, however, by Michael Kavanagh, and it's going to be a free in for Cork. So just a point in it. And Joe Dean being brought out, I can tell you, to take this free. Joe with a point so far. Comes from hurling mad killer in East Cork. Can he put Cork level here? He's just outside the 45-metre line. Dropping towards the right, Shawnee McGrath was coming in and it's gone wide. The ball had gone wide before Shawnee McGrath put it back into play. Shades of a certain goal against Clare, of course, in this year's Munster final. That time it was McGrath who kept the ball in play, and that particular day down in Thurles it was Joe Dean who found the back of the net. James McGarry. Down towards John Power. Again, he tries to take it through the very heart of the Cork defence. They stumble over him. The number 2 is Fergal Ryan. Back towards Charlie Carter. Anticipating, and Ken O'Shea was in, back a flash, but out comes the goalkeeper once again. Another fine clearance by Donald Cusack. Here's Andy Comerford, locating Michael Kavanagh. Dropped in towards the 2-man attack. DJ's there, Ken O'Shea's there, and the ball ends up flying past, whistling past the goalkeeper, and he's wondering just why he can't score. Well, the mentors are as well, I'm sure, and there's plenty of strength in the bench over there for Kilkenny. You think of PJ Delaney and Niall Maloney as well, well capable of coming in and doing a right good job on the forwards. That's dropped down beautifully here to Fergal McCormack, and Fergal's shot has gone left. Cork have 10 wides, Kilkenny with 13 so far. That's an amazingly high tally as we go back to the sideline to Marty.
Indeed, Cork are just making alterations around the centre of the field. Timmy McCarthy was a little bit confused. He now is operating in midfield. Mickey O'Connell is at centre forward and Neil Ronan on the wing.
I would think Mickey O'Connell needs to get more into this match, because Cork, like Kilkenny, have the subs who could come in. You think of Alan Brown, you think of Kevin Murray as well. Mark Landers leaving this sideline to be taken by Andy Comerford. Close to the break, about a minute remaining. That's Timmy McCarthy back there in midfield, as you heard. Again, he goes on his customary solo run. Partial block on that by Andy Comerford. They swing at it over there. Peter Barry's there, and once again it's Timmy McCarthy coming forward. He leaves it to Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor taking off here beyond Philly Larkin. Struggling to get it up in the stick, however, and that's a very good corner back play by Philly Larkin to deny him the space. I'm sure the older members of the Cork party, in particular Brian Corcoran, who played here in '92 against Kilkenny, will remember the weather conditions that day as well. I remember him trying to make a clearance, so the hurley literally slipped out of his hands and ended up in the Hogan stand. So far, Cork with 16 scoring chances, Kilkenny with 19. Mickey O'Connell floating this one in. Dennis Byrne. And that will be a Cork sideline ball. Well, the rain has eased quite a lot in the last 10 minutes or thereabouts. The breeze all this first half, I think, what's there of it, and it was quite fresh before the match, supporting Kilkenny. So now in stoppage time, here's Mark Landers towards Fergal McCormack, contained however beautifully by Dennis Byrne. He was fouled by Neil Ronan. Little tap on the arm, the referee is telling him. One of the many young players in the Cork team. Still a nasty gash there under the eye of Willie O'Connor. Pat O'Neill dropping the free down towards DJ Carey. It bounces away off Sean O'Halpine out to Fergal Ryan. A lot of work to be done here to try and take possession. Michael Cameron there, put under pressure by Neil Ronan. Ronan operating all this while at left half forward. That's straight at Pat O'Neill, expecting shoulders to come in right, left and centre, relishing them in a way. Brian McAvoy chases after this one. John Power waiting to give the ball to the number 12. Henry Shefflin trying to win the race here with Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Oh, a real pile up here. Dennis Burns there, Mickey O'Connell is there as well, and it's taken out eventually by Kilkenny. Here's Henry Shefflin trying to pick out John Power. Instead it's Mark Landers down there, and the referee will probably end the stalemate by throwing the ball between two. Mark Landers and John Power in for the clash then. Cork there in numbers, that's Fergal Ryan, but he hits it straight at a Kilkenny man to Brian McAvoy. Again it's Diarmuid O'Sullivan who gets a finger to that one, out as far as Brian Corcoran, put under pressure by John Power. Power takes too many steps with it, and it's going to be a free out for Cork. 2 minutes of injury time has been played so far. Shawnee McGrath trying to keep the ball in play. He got the last touch, however, and the referee says that is the final touch of the first half, which has been very disappointing indeed. Far too many wides. Cork with 10 so far, Kilkenny with 13, and certainly these are two teams who can play an awful lot better than this. Maybe the conditions have contributed, but it's Kilkenny who shaded at the break by 5 points to 4.
Join Ger Canning.
One change made by Cork at half-time, and that is that Alan Brown is into the Cork attack, and I'm just waiting to see who has made way, and it looks to be Neil Ronan. So there is Alan Brown, the number 21. And Alan has gone to left half forward. A switch, a direct switch with Neil Ronan as Pat O'Connor gets ready to get this very low-scoring All-Ireland final underway for the second half. Nice ball forward here. This is Ben O'Connor laying it off to Alan Brown, and straight away with his very first touch he ties up the game. Very impressive start by Alan Brown from Blackrock as he makes it 5 points each, and they're level for the second time in the game. No goals whatsoever in the match, and few goal opportunities, and that's wonderful work by Fergal Ryan to take it away there from Charlie Carter. The stumbling figure there is Brian Corcoran. Mark Landers, Andy Comerford trying to win it once again in midfield. Just as Alan Brown, he'll have been so frustrated sitting on the bench during the opening 35 minutes. Now he's got a chance to make a huge impression. Here's Joe Dean. Left there for Mickey O'Connell. Inside towards Timmy McCarthy. Willie O'Connor swinging at that one, but only as far as Shawnee McGrath. And McGrath with the angle shot, stopped by James McGarry. Not a very long clearance, but he manages to pick out his team captain, Dennis Byrne. An effective clearance, but it's stopped once again by Brian Corcoran. Here's Peter Barry, who switched across over onto Alan Brown. In fact, much of the talk in the speculation of the last week or so was that Alan Brown would in fact possibly even start in the Cork team and possibly be selected not at full forward but on the wings to deny Peter Barry the opportunity to have a big influence. DJ Carey, the hand pass forward towards Charlie Carter. Carly with just enough room and Charlie has knocked it over the bar. First point of the second half. First point of the match for Charlie, but first point of the second half for Kilkenny, and they go back in front again. Well, that may well settle down Charlie. With 2 attacks now, we've had 2 scores, and let's hope it's going to be a far better second half. Donal O'Cusack again targeting Alan Brown, and that's Peter Barry coming back down with it. Andy Comerford is to his left. Brown chases after him. Good movement here by the wing back, trying to locate Charlie Carter. And the man who denies them space was Fergal Ryan, and Fergal Ryan in the end was himself fouled, and it's a free out for Cork, who have the win behind them for the second half. This is the save a little while ago here by James McGarry, batting it down to himself, very secure, playing in his first All-Ireland final. Brian Corcoran, who's had experience of playing in hurling and football finals. Remember the match against Derry in '93. This is broken down here. Willie O'Connor reacts quickest of all. Fergal McCormack knocking it back towards Alan Brown. Players on their hands and knees. One of them was Peter Barry there. A pile up about 25 metres out. Timmy McCarthy here. Mark Landers is calling for it, and the referee says you threw that one, and it's going to be a free out for Kilkenny. Timmy McCarthy, who got 2 points from play during the first half. Certainly every possible bit of cover needed here in Croke Park today. The new stand, new Cusack that is, has always had an area of it down in front which was subject to the elements on a bad day like today, and of course the canal end open for business as well, but no roof on the stand, not yet. Dennis Barry. This is towards DJ Carey, won by Sean O'Halpine. DJ chases after him. The kick by the man who'll play in the All-Ireland football final for Cork at full back. Alan Brown in there. So too is Philly Larkin. Joe Dean here. That's Canis Brennan who's after him. Back there, Peter Barry helping out. Blocked down by Ben O'Connor. Trying to take it out of the corner there, but it goes straight to Philly Larkin. Towards DJ Carey. He's only about 50 metres out from his own goal. Andy Comerford. Dropped up towards Charlie Carter, over the head of Fergal Ryan. Diarmaid O'Sullivan in some difficulty back there, but helped out by Fergal Ryan once again. He's in a very tidy match at right corner back. That's Shawnee McGrath. Nicely forward here towards Mickey O'Connell. Dennis Byrne trying to get back and prevent the pass or the shot. It rains in there in front of the Kilkenny goal. They struggle to try and get the ball away. Alan Brown's in there. Canis Brennan, they're forced to kick it out eventually out over his own end line, and that's gone for today's first 65-metre free. Well, Canis, who is an army officer, plays for the Connaughey Shamrocks club, still quite new to playing in the full-back position, but he's done well so far. Philly Larkin is down with an injury. Appears to be in a little bit of distress. I was mentioning that his dad has 5 All-Ireland medals, whereas his grandfather, also a right corner back, won 4. Philly, one of the disappointed men from last year, and I suppose it would be unthinkable for so many of these Kilkenny players to suffer defeat again 2 years in a row in the final. That's what happened to Cork in 82-83 against Kilkenny, and of course the coach today was the captain then. Mickey O'Connell's free has dropped left, so the wides just mount up. That's the first of the second half, but it's the 11th in all for Cork. This wise face here, I'm sure he's seen many a game, and I'm sure he's wondering whether this will improve in quality. John Parr That's Mickey O'Connell there against Charlie Carter. Comes back to Dennis Byrne. Inside towards Henry Shefflin. DJ Carey was anticipating, always expects a break perhaps to come his way. Looking for space here, trying to hit it. It's come off the legs of a Cork player, away by Diarmuid O'Sullivan, but not away to safety just yet. Charlie Carter is there. Fergal Ryan trying to tie him up in the corner. This is towards Henry Shefflin. Hard to hold on to that, but he did really well. Strongly built young man. Towards Ken O'Shea, and then nipping in Sean O'Halpine. Ken O'Shea back there once again to torment, however. This angle ball is targeted towards Charlie Carter's corner. Again, it's Fergal Ryan. DJ racing for this one with Wayne Sherlock. Ryan takes it once again, not a long clearance. Here's Charlie Carter, partly blocked that time. Runs into John Power. He's got support from DJ Carey. And still going forward, and he's down, and the referee, well, what's he going to do? I think he's going to throw the ball in. Kilkenny were perhaps anticipating that Power had just made enough room, and the run was close to the edge of the large rectangle when down he went. Well, there were possibilities for John Power when he was going through that time. Certainly DJ Carey wasn't too far away from him. And this is the run again by John Power here. Seemed to be I think they were anticipating a hand pass inside. That was the tangle there with John Brown. Number 6 is Brian Corcoran. Well, let's go back to the sideline now to Marty Morrissey.
Well, just before that incident, Brian Cody, the Kilkenny manager, sent out an instruction to once again try and get DJ Carey free near the goalpost. Just before that incident, DJ Carey moved into corner forward. They're trying to make room for him and get him near Donald Cusick and the goalpost.
Well, John Power having words with the referee, and it's going to be a free. But this was a very dangerous move, but as you can see, John Power connected with the stick there of John Brown. But no penalty for Kilkenny. Instead, it's going to be a conventional 20-metre free. Henry Shefflin about to take it. 3 points so far in the match, 2 of them coming from frees. And Henry Shefflin has given it plenty of air, but plenty of accuracy as well. His 4th point then makes it Kilkenny 7, Cork 5. Donald O'Cusick about to take the puck out. Subs warming up on the far side. The crowd trying to get right behind both teams. 61,000 present here at Croke Park this afternoon. Andy Comerford, not a long clearance, not an effective one either. Snapped up by Wayne Sherlock of Cork. Now Shonny McGrath, dragged to the ground however over there. Not once but twice by Willie O'Connor. Battle-scarred Willie then concedes the free. And coming out to take it will be Joe Dean. And the man who's down here is Andy Comerford. Had some good moments during that first half. Caught a number of very good balls in midfield. So play is going to be held up. And he seems to be in quite an amount of distress. Willie O'Connor, by the way, has had his number recorded by the referee, Pat O'Connor. The free to be taken by Joe Dean. And Joe has put it down at the post, and it comes back to safety to Philly Larkin. A let off for Kilkenny there, but they retain their 2 points advantage. Here's Sean O'Halpine, back down to Joe Dean, ran into Andy Comerford, back up on his feet again. Joe Dean trying to get away from the attentions of 2 Kilkenny players, but he's missed the opportunity, and Joe has to settle for just 1 point in the match so far. He'll be bitterly disappointed, I'm sure. And the mentors have already made one change. Johnny Crowley there, Sean O'Leary as well, Tom Cashman. Dean has had 1 point from a total of 5 shots. Fergal Ryan again trying to contain the threat of Charlie Carter. And there is a foul and there's a free, and Charlie looks around in disgust, but it's going to be a free downfield for Cork. And certainly the play of Fergal Ryan deserving of a lot of praise so far. He's done a really good job on Charlie. The rain continues to pour down here all this while, and Kevin Murray is about to join the action. That'll be another change in the Cork attack very shortly, but right now it's Alan Brown who's in there, and the umpire says that has gone wide. But the referee, I think, is he going to try and change the umpire's decision? He had his hand raised in the air, and I think it is going to be a 65. So the referee overruling the man in the white coat back there. This was Alan Brown against Peter Barry. Peter Barry went up for it, so too did the goalkeeper, James McGarry. It all ends up being a 65. Taken by Mickey O'Connell, and O'Connell's shot has gone to the left and gone wide. No joy for Mickey O'Connell so far in the game. No score from 3 shots, that's his record in the match to date. But certainly Kevin Murray is about to be introduced into this match very, very shortly. The 2 anticipated forward substitutions, one has already been made. Here's Dennis Byrne. Doing well at midfield, Dennis Byrne. Getting it away from the Cork man, tapping it in beautifully and putting it over the bar. A little bit of aggression breaking out there between Henry Shefflin and Diarmuid O'Sullivan, but all immaterial really, because Dennis Byrne has got his first point of the match and Kilkenny lead by 3. So Cork appreciating that they have to make the changes. This was Dennis Byrne. It was a very good run to get away from the attentions there of Sean O'Halpine, and he did really well to put it over the bar. Andy Comerford dropped up towards DJ Carey, their number 1 target time and again. John Power denied there by Wayne Sherlock. Here's John Brown, hooked by John Power, but he still managed to get it down towards Alan Brown. The Browns, of course, brothers, and that's gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Kilkenny. So that's Kevin Murray being, well, about to be introduced, we thought, but he's putting the tracksuit top back on. Andy Comerford swinging it in towards Henry Shefflin, and it went off Henry last, and that's a puck out for Cork. Well, let's go back to the sideline, maybe get a line on that. Possible substitution for Marty Morrissey.
Yes, well, there seems to be indecisiveness in the Cork management team. They seem to be contemplating it for a prolonged period of time. Kevin Murray was warming up, but yet they haven't decided to bring him in. In fact, he's put back on the top of his tracksuit.
Referee having a word with both players here, Henry Shefflin and Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Shefflin was pushing away the number 3 of Cork. Got just a little bit nasty. Referee decided to take a bit of action and talk to both men. Well, all this while, Kevin Murray continues to warm up on the far side, but no sign of his being introduced into the Cork attack. That's once again Pat O'Neill, a wonderful catch. Timmy McCarthy annoyed with the referee's decision, but it's a free for Kilkenny. Well, Pat O'Neill relishes the tight, physical game, playing really well at centre-half back, shoring up the middle of the Kilkenny defence, taking the free himself. Carter trying to get the measure over there with Fergal Ryan, went off the Cork man. Sideline ball to Kilkenny. Well, now Kevin Murray has once again taken off the tracksuit top, and he's about to come into the action, I think, in the next minute or so. Jimmy Barry Murphy having a word with him there, and also Ted Owens. Well, Marty Morrissey is closer to that scene than I am. Let's go back to him.
Yes, indeed. I can tell you now that Kevin Murray will be introduced in a matter of moments. The man that's going to be taken off is the Cork captain, Mark Landers.
Interesting. Brian McAvoy swinging this one and swinging it delightfully over the crossbar. Brian McAvoy gets his first point of the match. A lovely cut, wonderful skill, and the Kilkenny fans are much the happier. Well, this is the man they're just about to bring in now, Kevin Murray. 9 points to 5, and we heard that Mark Landers is the one who's about to be taken off. Cork tried to make the changes, and I think Mark Landers has finally got the message, or is it going to be Mark Landers? Ted Owens, I think, is telling him to come off the field, but he's still there. Mickey O'Connell contesting with Brian McAvoy once again. Wayne Sherlock can't hold it. This is John Power. Again trying to burst his way through, and he was chopped down, and it's going to be a free to Kilkenny. So further pressure on the Cork backs. But Mark Landers has now finally got the message, and the Cork captain has been replaced. It's Mickey O'Connell and it's Timmy McCarthy in midfield. Kevin Murray has gone into the full forward position. So switches and changes been made by the Cork mentors. Henry Shefflin just inside the 65-metre line. 3 shots taken so far in frees and 3 points. Dropping low this time beyond John Parr. Here's DJ Carey, always anticipating. And that's a shot by DJ that has gone to the right. Doesn't miss many. This one has gone astray, however. And DJ has yet to score in the game. Kilkenny with 13 goals going into this match from championship matches so far. None today, same as Cork. But Kilkenny have a 4-point lead. That's Peter Barry. One-handed there by Ken O'Shea. Sean O'Halpine. Fergal McCormack went off the stick of Philly Larkin that time. Here's Kevin Murray. An awkward angle by Kevin Murray, but he's put it over the bar with his very first touch. Alan Brown got his point with his first touch in the second half, and now it's the turn of Kevin Murray to look really sharp and decisive in front of goal and make it 9 points now to 6. McGarry's puck out midway through the second half. Here's Brian Corcoran going back. Ben O'Connor over there, that's taken down by Pat O'Neill once again. Man of the match in 92, might have been man of the match again in 93 in that final against Galway. He's a man for the big occasion, Pat O'Neill. Cork with the sideline ball, Mickey O'Connell about to take it. His team manager Jimmy Barry Murphy right alongside him there, encouraging. Shawnee McGrath waits inside. That's a great cut all the way through, batted out by Canis Brennan. But Cork anticipating the first touch there of Fergal McCormack wasn't a good one, however. Kilkenny get it back, that's Willie O'Connor. Good clearance out as far as Dennis Byrne, they retain possession. One-on-one there, Dermot O'Sullivan against Charlie Carter. Henry Shefflin racing in, trying to be in Ryan. Shefflin getting it up onto the stick. Fergal Ryan still after him, it's back to Charlie Carter, and Charlie is content to put it over the bar. He's got a second point. Just for a moment there, I thought there might have been a sufficiently larger gap to have squeezed in a possible goal. Charlie is happy with another point, however. Henry Shefflin managed to get inside Fergal Ryan on this one occasion. Charlie with the hand pass, that was the space, that was the gap, and he was happy to put it over. Joe Dean trying to turn the tide in Cork's favour. Back there Philly Larkin on his knees again as Peter Barry. Into open space to Shawnee McGrath. McGrath with his chance to get a point, and he's done exactly that. Shawnee McGrath's first point of this match. Shawnee now playing out right half forward has made it 10 points to 7. There's still that little gap the whole time, about 3 points between these teams. It was just a 1-point gap at half-time, but Kilkenny have settled a bit better and started to take more of their chances. Sean O'Halpine sliding out of the pitch. Sideline ball to Kilkenny. It'll be Andy Comerford once again to take the sideline cut. We've got 2 wonderful exponents of the sideline. Well, 3 of you had Brian McAvoy, who got a lovely one earlier on. Mickey O'Connell and Andy Comerford, really stars in that particular department. Nicely in again towards Brian McAvoy. Fergal Ryan back there. And Wayne Sherlock is there as well. This is Wayne Sherlock. Beyond Alan Brown this time. Peter Barry coming out. Brown trying to tackle, tripped in fact, and it's a free for Kilkenny. Well, certainly Alan Brown there a little bit slow to get off the mark against Peter Barry. Dennis Byrne and the other, that's Ger Henderson of course there. Former centre half back in consultation there with Brian Cody, but I think there's a quiet satisfaction on their faces. This is Pat O'Neill. Going for the score, but he's put it to the right. A missed opportunity then for the centre half back. Still a lot of tension about. So the respective management teams wonder about changes. Cork with 2 substitutions already in the game, and here's Timmy McCarthy. This is a chance that they need to convert and do. Timmy McCarthy has now got 3 points from play in this match. The Cork fans will be a little bit happier. He's had 4 shots at the target, he's made 3 of them, and it's now, as you see, 10 points to 8. The point that was made by the panel at half-time, I think, is a very good one. If you win by a point, irrespective of what kind of a match it is, it'll be your All-Ireland, and that's what they are both, I'm sure, thinking about at this stage. Classics, I'm afraid, go out the window on such a damp day like today. That's a wonderful catch by Peter Barry, wonderful skill. Inside to Andy Comerford, just getting enough latitude now to get away from Alan Brown, who's flagging somewhat as Comerford takes it forward on his left-hand side. That's a tremendous score. An Andy Comerford special. 2 points in the match for Andy. Every time Cork come back and get within a couple of points, Kilkenny have the facility to come back and widen the gap once more. 3 between them. And this was Peter Barry going up here, climbing magnificently ahead of Alan Brown there. Here's Fergal McCormack coming across again. Trying to take it by 3 Kilkenny players. This is Alan Brown once more. First touch not good. Peter Barry sticking to his task. Here's Pat O'Neill. Timmy McCarthy coming in to challenge, and in that 50-50 situation, it's won by the Kilkenny man. Up towards Ken O'Shea. McCarthy's down on the ground injured all this while. Ken O'Shea hasn't scored in the match to date. Here's on to John Power. A point so far for John. First touch not particularly good. Couldn't get it up on the stick. Scooped out there by John Brown, out as far as Sean O'Halpine. And O'Halpine belting it down. That's in beyond Andy Comerford this time. Timmy McCarthy back on his feet, as you can see. The angle ball inside there. Comes out here towards Ben O'Connor. Trying to get inside Canis Brennan. Canis is wrestling him somewhat, holding him back indeed. O'Connor lost the stick, and it's going to be a free into Cork. Quick explanation given by the referee, the jersey being tapped. Joe Dean to take the free. About 11-12 minutes still to play. Joe Dean to put just 2 between them once again. And that's gone over. A second point for Joe Dean. So once again, Cork claw their way back in here. 11 points to 9. James McGarry's puck out. Again, well directed towards Brian McAvoy. Touched down by Wayne Sherlock of Cork. Dennis Byrne there in that tussle with Mickey O'Connell. Mickey without the stick, pleading his case. Linesman insistent. And Henry Shefflin goes across to take this. Or rather, it's Dennis Byrne who's been entrusted with the responsibility. Cut up well towards Henry Shefflin. In there against Fergal Ryan. That's John Brown again. Good work to get it out as far as Timmy McCarthy, and again his trademark solo. Down towards Kevin Murray, breaks instead to Shonny McGrath. McGrath trying to get in through the defence here, shorten the grip on the stick, and he put it over the bar. That's a second point now for the Glen Rovers man. Happier Cork fans up on Hill 16 and various other places in Croke Park, because now the gap is just a solitary point. Kilkenny still leading. It's 11 points to 10 in the 112th All-Ireland hurling final, the Guinness All-Ireland Championship. This was Shonny McGrath, and this is where Shonny McGrath picked up his second point of the day. Fergal McCormack at midfield, trying to get that ball away despite the attentions of Brian McAvoy. That's Wayne Sherlock in there. Nobody able to get it up on the stick so far. That's stolen away by John Brown from John Power. Out towards Sean O'Halpine. DJ Carey's there as well. It falls to Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Towards Kevin Murray. Slipping on the ground, however. And Willie O'Connor is back there. Not an effective clearance. Cork get it back and then lose it once again to Canis Brennan. Brennan trying to get enough space on that. That's Kevin Murray once again. Trying to slip by Canis Brennan. Back to Fergal McCormack, partly blocked by Dennis Byrne. Peter Barry rising once again. What a fine player this lad is. The wing back for Kilkenny, giving it to Andy Comerford. Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Here comes Brian Corcoran, and that's a foul on Brian Corcoran. Charlie Carter protesting that he took too many steps, but the referee says no, free out to the Munster champions. First time since 1996 that we've had the Leinster champions against the Munster champions in the All-Ireland final, and Brian Cody, I think, relishing it. But it's a tight battle, anybody's game, one between them. About 9 minutes left. Willie O'Connor swinging at this one, one-handed, holding it up there for Pat O'Neill. Comes out towards Shonny McGrath. Angle getting tighter the whole time. Umpires have a right good look at it, and he's put it over the bar. He's got another one. Shonny McGrath, and they're level for the third time in this All-Ireland hurling final. Cork had fallen behind 3 and 4 points, but now they've pegged the gap once again, and it's Cork 11, Kilkenny 11. Now who's your money on? John Power against Brian Corcoran, stalemate. Breaks out, however, to Mickey O'Connell. And that is the sliding figure there of Pat O'Neill. Willie O'Connor coming to render assistance, hoping to deny Shonny McGrath. And still Kilkenny trying to clear that ball out sufficiently far away from their own goal area. They've seen their lead whittled away. And here's DJ Carey, hasn't scored in the match. Still DJ just doing enough to block it and get it forward to Henry Shefflin. This time trying to make scores for others. Shefflin, strong fellow, blocked down here, denied by Fergal Ryan. What a match he's played. It comes out here brilliantly, and that's well away from the danger there by Wayne Sherlock. Out to Joe Dean. Into space here towards Kevin Murray. In fact, the player who gets the final shot on that one is Alan Brown, and it's gone wide in any case. Part of the very strong Blackrock contingent in this Cork team. They look at the skies, they wonder who's going to win this. Kilkenny, with 25 All-Ireland wins, thinking about making a change. It looks to be Niall Maloney who's about to come in, and they're also preparing another player over there. We'll probably get news of that in just a moment. Here's Timmy McCarthy. Andy Comerford chases after him. The young man from North Cork to Joe Dean, running in there to the challenge of Peter Barry. Hand pass to Ben O'Connor, looking for enough room. Gets enough room, gets enough accuracy on it as well, and Cork take the lead through Ben O'Connor, his first point of the match. Kilkenny think about changes. They've now fallen into arrears. Niall Maloney appears to be the one who is coming on in place of Charlie Carter, I believe. Let's go for some more news to Marty Morrissey.
PJ Delaney is after coming on for John Power. Dramatic changes, in fact, and Niall Maloney is going to be introduced for Charlie Carter, as Kilkenny are fully aware now that the game is going against them.
6 minutes to go. It's anybody's match. But Kilkenny have seen that lead that they had amassed, eaten into it, and now overtaken by Cork. The hand pass by Wayne Sherlock, that's batted away superbly there by Pat O'Neill. Comes out as far as Brian McAvoy. Fergal McCormack still running, still chasing. McAvoy still dominating. Inside there it goes towards the substitute. PJ Delaney trying to get enough room inside towards DJ. DJ Carey trying to run it into the goal. It was very close indeed, but it's gone wide. Hard to imagine that DJ has failed to score this afternoon, but here he was coming through. It took a lot of steps, and in the end it was blocked down in there, and the final chance going into the side netting. 10 wides now, sorry, 17 wides I should say now for Kilkenny. And Fergal McCormack has been fouled as he was going through by Dennis Byrne. Free to Cork. So confirmation of the changes and the switch has been made by Kilkenny. PJ Delaney has gone into full forward, by the way. Niall Maloney is top of the right. And you heard that the players take it off John Power and Charlie Carter. Joe Dean about to hit the free. He's 50 metres out. This time he takes great care and hits it with great accuracy. And Joe Dean has put it over the bar. 3 points now by Joe Dean, the last two coming from frees. And the Cork fans now have seen their side get into a lead of 2 points and inside the last 5 minutes of the match. A Kilkenny response provided here by Dennis Byrne, partly blocked down by Brian Corcoran, trying to make his clearance, still pressurised there by the Kilkenny captain. The clearance towards Seanie McGrath, swept back here by Michael Kavanagh. Kavanagh now operating at left half back as he's done for the entire second half. That runs on there towards Niall Maloney. Kilkenny looking for a goal here, and Maloney is fouled as he's going through by John Brown. John O'Gahil also being spoken to, and it's going to be a free into Kilkenny. Henry Shefflin about to take it. DJ Carey had a quiet word with him. Now, will he think about a goal here, or will he just put it over the bar and put 2 points between the teams once again? I guess he'll do the latter. He hits it high up into the new Canal End stand, and Henry Shefflin has got 5 points in this match, and it's Cork 13, Kilkenny 12. A dramatic second half here. Kilkenny, first of all, leading and leading well, then Cork fighting back gamely. Donald O'Cusack. Again, Cork will try to win their own puck out here once again. It falls down towards Seanie McGrath, runs in towards Kevin Murray there. That half-back line standing firm. Andrew Comerford is back there around that half-back line. Up towards Henry Shefflin, just got a stick on it. But here's Brian Corcoran. Cork without a win in the All-Ireland Championship since 1990, the year of their double. And Kilkenny trying to prevent defeat in the final for the second year in a row. Wayne Sherlock with the clearance, way down towards Kevin Murray and Joe Dean. Up towards Dennis Byrne, stepping away from Dean. Here's PJ Delaney. Timmy McCarthy going back. Next it's Mickey O'Connell for Cork, the midfielder. Fergal McCormack. Lobbed in there and beyond this time the attentions of the Cork inside forward. Lots and lots of tension about. It's getting quite dark here in Croke Park right now. That's Niall Maloney. Here's Brian Corcoran once again. Stop this time. Still it reaches a Cork man, and that Cork man is Ben O'Connor. A fine solo run by Ben O'Connor. Dennis Byrne going back, tracking him the whole time and doing enough to put him off, and he's put it wide. It's still 13-12. Inside the last minute, as you can see, is Jimmy Barry Murphy about to land Cork their first All-Ireland for 9 years. It's there for the taking still, however, but Cork have stormed into this in the second half. A half and a match indeed where DJ Carey, the great Kilkenny star, failed to score. Here's Dennis Byrne. Back there is Alan Brown again, and that time the referee says play on, no foul. Joe Dean outside towards Fergal McCormack, trying to slip inside Peter Barry. Still going forward McCormack, and his shot has gone to the right. Kilkenny won't delay pucking this one out. The 70 minutes are up. The puck out by McGarry. Runs through towards DJ Carey, but strong defence once again by Cork. It's been the strongest part of their team all season. Now it's at the discretion of the referee how much time he's going to allow on. Here's Dennis Byrne. Still only a point in it. Kilkenny looking for a chance, but the referee has whistled. It's all over, and Cork are the All-Ireland hurling champions for 1999. There was only a point in it. Delight for Ben O'Connor, Fergal McCormack. The subs come in to join them as well. A day of triumph for Jimmy Barry Murphy, one of the great heroes in Cork sport, and now as coach after 4 years. They've got it absolutely right. Youth was given its head. They came in, they took the chance. The substitutions were vital. And Jimmy Barry Murphy, as always during his playing career, is a winner. Cork have taken the title. Kilkenny will, I'm sure, feel bitterly disappointed. They had so many wides in the game. A total for Cork of 17 wides, but for Kilkenny 17 as well. But there were so many chances. A nervous opening to the game. Cork made 34 scoring chances. Kilkenny made 31. A day when DJ Carey failed to score for Kilkenny. And there he is, congratulating Fergal McCormack. And a change this year, of course. The fans have to stay off the pitch.
Marcin Achardia, Gana Hillimaya, Harshach Namilisha, is Coachwar Ahish Gumsa, Coron Liam McCarthy, the Grave Illa Aaron Jernach on Kate Shaw, Redek Sanrechani, Avrona Erchaften Chorkey, Mark Landers.
So Joe McDonough in this change with tradition, out of the middle of the field, presenting the Liam McCarthy Cup to Mark Landers. Cork began the decade as champions, they finish as champions, and they won it for the 28th time.
Welcome back to Leeside, Liam McCarthy. We've missed you a lot.
This is one of the great speech makers, I can tell you, Mark Landers. We could be here for about an hour.
Conscious Glaka, her son and Ferran Killia, Imokili, August Corkeg. It is indeed a great honour for me to captain this young, victorious team on the last championship of the millennium. Johnny, I'd like to thank our backroom staff, Dr. Con Murphy and Masood John Allen, our team trainer Teddy Owens. I'd like to dispel the notions that Cork can't play in the rain. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, we were here in 1982. We were also here in 1983, captained by one man. He didn't have the honour of lifting Lee McCarthy, but he did the next best thing. He brought a team back to win it. Better known as JBM, we know him as Jimmy Barry Murphy. My last word to the supporters. Thank you for travelling. Thank you for making the effort to get the tickets. For you watching in America, Australia, England, and for you, the people at home that can't be here with us today, we're going to see you back in Patrick Street tomorrow night. Thank you very much.
They'll have enjoyed that in the Fado pub over in Chicago, where there are lots of Cork people watching this afternoon.
Without further ado, I'd like to thank Kilkenny, great sportsmen. 3 cheers, hip hip!